But I'll tell you what I liked. I liked the syringe. I mean, what else do nurses do but give shots, right? That's all we do. And to finally get a syringe, and it actually worked. You could draw up water, and then you could shoot the cat, shoot the dog, shoot the neighbor kid. There was a phase in my life where nobody left dry. So you can imagine my excitement when I got to the part of my nurses training where we actually studied injections. Now, some of you in this room probably trained a few years ago like I did. And you know, back in those days, you don't start by giving an injection to a patient. You start by injecting what? Oranges, yeah. I would practice over and over again on the oranges at my house until they looked like they had scabies. And then, of course, the first injection you give is to each other. This was back in the days of the return demonstration. There's nothing more unnerving than knowing the person giving you the injection, it's the first time they've ever done it. But finally, ladies and gentlemen, the big day came for me. I was doing my emergency room rotation, Penrose Hospital, Colorado Springs. And in walked a gentleman, a construction worker. He had been cut on a piece of sheet metal. Handsome, tan. I said, come on, come over here and lay on the gurney. He laid down and the doctor came over and stitched him up. And then he said the most magical words. The words I'd been waiting for a lifetime to hear. Nurse Bartlein, can you give him a tetanus shot? Oh, my heart started to pound. I practically floated in slow motion. You know, like those women at the beginning of Baywatch. I opened up the refrigerator, I pulled out the vaccine, I drew it up. I went back to where the patient was laying. I wiped his deltoid with an alcohol swab. I darted that injection in perfectly. Aspirated just a bit, finished and pulled it out. I winked at him, he winked at me. And then he stood up and fell dead on the floor. I killed him. My very first patient, and I killed him. All I could think is, you know what, I'm going to give up on nursing. This is not a good idea. I'm going to run out the door. I'll live in the mountains of Colorado, make my life off the land. Fortunately for the patient, everybody came running, and they came over and they slowly helped him get up to his feet. And the doctor was laughing. He says, you know what, the big ones always faint. That's a true story, ladies and gentlemen. And at that moment, I realized something. If you're going to make it in nursing, you better have a sense of humor. You better be looking at things with a little bit of mirth, or you're just not going to make it. Now, my experience with nurses is we do have that kind of sense of humor. In fact, nurses talk about, think about, and laugh about things nobody else thinks is funny.